Hello, welcome to C Miniatures. My name is Latanya and I am a miniatureholic. Now, if you do not know what a miniatureholic is by now, please review my Intro to Miniatures video. This week, I want to bring you the Thorn-hill and how I created the outside look on this house. Now, I cannot do floor plans. I cannot sketch, draw for the life of me. The way I create is by intuition. I literally have to get my hands in there and get it dirty. So this house was not the original idea that I wanted. I wanted a Tudor style look, and in the video you'll see that I literally went through the steps of creating the bricks and trying to make it look Tudor style. But when I got done, it just did not work for me, so I scrapped it. I just threw the whole idea away, cleared everything up, and I started over. And through my intuition, this is how it turned out, and I love it. Now, when I say that I stayed up late nights trying to create this look, I mean 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, I was exhausted. Now, I'm telling you that so that you'll know, don't follow my lead. Get you some rest so that you can think clearly. Now, when I was doing that, I made mistakes, especially on the chimney. I took the compound, I literally stood up here with the stencils, took the compound, trying to put it up there while it was standing. No, you don't do that. Cut you out a template, and then you lay the template down and you put the stencil over, and then you put your compound on it. I didn't do that. I wasn't thinking. I stayed up late. So that was something else I had to scrap. I didn't get video footage of that, but I did get some pictures of how I did this look right here, and that's in the video. In the video, you're going to hear some background noises because this video was shot years ago and my grandchildren were over at that time. They were younger. They didn't make a lot of noise to where you cannot hear, and you can definitely see me. So, but I just want to give you a heads up on what to expect in this video. But the footage is clear, and so is the volume. Now, with that being said, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Now let's get started. I would like to tell you the story on how I got my Thorn-hill. I have a miniatureholic buddy who normally works at the Museum of Miniature Houses. So I called her up and asked her to help me locate a Thorn-hill because I really wanted one. And I know she's really good at locating houses. So she told me that they had the Thorn-hill at the museum in a storage area. So I called up one of the founders, Suzanne, and told her that I would really like to purchase that house. She said, "Well, Latanya, I'm going to let you have it just because I want to see what you do with it." I was tickled pink. I paid $300 for a $1,200 house. I called up a ride, loaded it up on the truck, and now I have my Thorn-hill. I'm so happy, and I'm going to take you on the journey on fixing it up. And I hope Suzanne's happy with the outcome. Okay, this is the Thorn-hill. I stripped it inside and out. The wallpaper was horrible to get out, but this is the inside now. It's pretty much almost ready. See how I took all the wallpaper off the walls. I'm gonna have to do some more sanding by hand because I did it with the machine, electric machine, and it did a good job. So yeah, she's ready. She's been gutted. And let's see, over here on the side, and I'm seriously thinking about taking this wall out to make more room up there, but I don't want two big spaces at the bottom, but we'll see. And that, whatever that was that lady had over here, it was horrible. Hard to get off, but I did it, yay. And now I'm gonna go to the back and inside, stripped and ready. The doors. Now I'm gonna hand sand it. to get the details so that when I do whatever I do to the walls, wallpaper, tile, whatever, it'll look nice and it'll be smooth. And this is the left side, all ready to go. I did such a good job. Look at that. Even took the electrical out of the ceiling right there in every room. Put my own hard wiring in. So I can say that pretty much taking the roof down. My Thorn-hill. I think when I'm done with this, I do this fine sanding tomorrow. She's ready to go. Oh, she's going to be a beaut when I'm done, but I'll keep myself posted. Okay, here's an updated addition to my Thorn-hill. Now, I've gutted it, and I took all the little, if you notice, little white bricks. They were wood, but they're supposed to be bricks, off the corners that were decorated. I just want a whole new look. Now, I couldn't decide whether I wanted to take that wall out that was here, but I did. And I love it because it gives me way more space to do what I want to do with it. So my plan is to have like a bed in this area, a dresser over here, other things in. But over here, I want a fireplace. And with my picture at the top, I got the fireplace already. It's gorgeous. And then like a little living room area right there. And I needed that wall out. I didn't want another bathroom. Yeah, it's mediocre. That way I can really focus on the other bathroom. And also, you know, everything else is still pretty much the same, but I'm debating on taking out one of these walls. Do I want this wall out, which is close to the stairs, or do I want this one out? Because I know I'm going to have a rec room up here, and I'm thinking about making this an arts and craft room, like a painting room. But I know I'm going to have one bedroom. So that'll be a bedroom. I'm not sure if it's going to be this one or this one. I'm more likely debating on this one being a bedroom. And this is a rec room. So I'm not sure about this wall because I could leave this wall up and make this an arts and craft, like a painting room. Or I could knock this wall out and still have a rec room over here and in the corner, a painting room. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm working on it. But in the meantime, everything is gutted and ready for me to decorate. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the outside. I've already cut my templates out to go against each area on the outside of the house. So like this will go on here. And I'm going to put some, I'm going to show you these foam cup holders. And they're going to be brick. So I'm going to make them look like brick and put them on the outside of each template. And then put the template against the house to actually make it have the effect of real bricks. So each area on the outside of the house, around the bottom, the top up will have this material right here, which is actually wallpaper, but it looks almost like brick. And I'm going to leave it this color. It can be painted over, but I'm going to leave it this color. And this is the type that I'm using. I got it from Bed & Bath online. So the top of the house, all the way around, is going to be the Bed & Bath wallpaper. From the middle to the bottom of the house is going to be fake stone. So it'll be Tudor style. And then I'll have some like brown wood to go up to make it look like a Tudor style, but not totally Tudor style. It's going to be my style. But everything else is pretty much the same. And it's gutted. And she's ready to go. So I'm going to actually start working on the bricks for the templates this weekend. Have other stuff to do, so I won't be working on it full time. And then like the back is still the same. And yeah, I do have the stairs that's going to go right here. And I think, yeah, there's another set of stairs that I have that I'm going to have to make. But they're going to look like, both of them are pretty much going to look like this. So, let's get started. I just want to look at my baby one more time. This is my house. I've been waiting for this house. It's amazing. Like a kid in a candy store. But yeah, really debating on this wall coming out. Hope it comes out as easy as the one in here because I hit it a couple of times with a hammer, actually with my fist, and it came loose real good and just knocked the rest out with a hammer. I hope that one's the same way. Looks like there may be a, we'll see. I'm really leaning towards 90% on knocking that wall out. But I'll keep myself updated. Trying to see if this wall right here is a part of that. Because over here on this side, if you come on the outside, is this attached to this outside wall? I need to know because I want to take this wall out. This one or this one. So if you can tell me if it's a part of the wall, I'd appreciate it. Okay, this is another update on my Thorn-hill. I wanted to take out the attic wall, one of them, and I did. And when I took it out, it was joined to the roof. It was helping to hold up the foundation. So what I did was I cut a piece and put it back. So this part here, gonna have to add another piece of thin wood. So it'll be a partial wall. Majority of the wall is gone, and that still gives me more space. So I'll show you what it looks like around the back. And you see the gash, and I had to glue this. This will dry by morning and be clear. But I got to put just a little oblong triangle to replace it. And then I can proceed with caution this time. I won't remove any more walls. But it's still more space. Not bad. Okay, I've just gotten back to work on my Thorn-hill after a long period of time. Let's say about almost a year. So what I decided to do was start working on the outside. And I've drawn a line right across the part that I want the stones to go. So I'm going to make stones from here all the way down to about right here. Haven't decided whether or not that I'm going to make this area all the way around stones or not. I'm not sure. May paint it or stucco or something. But anyway, I wanted stones around that part of the house, and then I'll decide what I'm going to do with the top part. So in order to get my stones, I tried going to Hobby Lobby and looking online, and I couldn't figure it out. So I decided to go to get some easy mold from Hobby Lobby, and I made me some mold. And so I couldn't find the shape of rocks I wanted, so I went out in my yard and I started measuring rocks. So I got some about an inch and a half to 2 inches, and some wide, just various rocks. So I made the molds, and then I got the pink ones, the yellow, and the purple, and I got a bag full of them. I liked a lot of molds because I hate making 1 or 2 molds at one time. So this is the end result of all the molds, and I made it out of the plaster of Paris. So what I did was I put a little water in a measuring cup about this size, I think about half full, and then I pulled the plaster in there a little at a time, stirred it, but I put the PVA glue in first in the water, stirred it, and then added the plaster of Paris. It made the plaster of Paris hold better. It made it bond better, because usually plaster of Paris is kind of, crumbly. It'll crumble once you take it out the mold. So I got a lot of different rocks, different sizes, and I'm going to paint them all. So the model that I got was from Hobby Lobby, and I thought these were cute. So I'm going to make all these different colors, and I'm going to stick them on the front part of my Thorn-hill all the way around, the same measurements. I'm still not sure what I'm going to do with the bottom part, whether I'm going to just paint this area or stone it, and then I'll figure out the top part. So let's get started. And on the stones, I started with cardboard. So I cut out a piece of cardboard around the same size. I'm going to cut out the windows, and I'm going to put the stones around the cardboard and then just paste it up there and see how that works, because I didn't want to just put the stones up there and Oh my goodness, I'm going to have to put putty in. Well, we'll see how it goes. Let's get started. This is the stones that I'm making for the outside of my Thorn-hill. What I did was I went outside and I got some rocks and I made molds. And these are the molds. Now I'm painting them. And then I'm going to add some joint compound. And then I'm going to put them on my Thorn-hill. So I'm going to work on that and then we'll come back to it and see how it turns out. Okay, this is where I've gotten so far with the outside bricks for the Thorn-hill. So that's what it looks like now, and it'll be the after. So what I did was I painted each rock individually, and I made quite a few mistakes. Like around here, you can see what some of the paint. Once I put the joint compound on, it was a pinkish color, but then I painted it gray, suggestion from my son-in-law Tim, which looks a whole lot better. And so I have to go over each rock and paint it the color it was before the gray got on it. So you can see some of the pink from the compound still on it. So I'm painting. When I'm done, it'll all be cleared up. And so then I was thinking about putting Mod Podge. I was wanting to do gloss, but I'm debating because this is matte. So I think I'm gonna do. I don't know if I'm gonna do gloss. I think gloss will look nice because it's gonna be an elegant home, but not quite sure. I might just do matte. We'll see. But this is where I am so far. I got about 4 more coats to put on the green and the different shades of brown, and then go over it with gray again just to make sure the edges are clear and crisp. Oh, and then we'll go from there. We'll try to put the windows in, and then maybe a door, and then put it on there. But we'll see. We're getting there. Okay, and this is what I've done, and it's cute. More like for a country look or basic house look, but it's not what I'm looking for because the inside of the house is going to be elegant. So I'm about to scrap. I'm just going to scrap it, and I came up with another idea, and we're just going to see how that works out. Here we go. Okay, so I scratched my old idea. So I made new patterns of the frame of the windows and doors. And so I got some like cardboard, just light, heavy duty, what they call the cardboard that you use for arts and craft. And so I cut it the shape of the Thorn-hill for as the windows and doors and what I wanted textured. So I got this, I think, wallpaper type texture about, wow, a year and a half ago. And I got it specifically for the Thorn-hill, but I changed my mind, was trying to go with stones, but it didn't work out. So I'm going to turn it upside down. And I got each of the patterns I want. And so I'm going to glue them overnight and make sure it's lined up with the edges. And once it's glued, the glue's dry, then I'm going to cut out the pattern. So the outside wall would be textured just like this. And then I'm going to paint it that berry wine type color. And that'll be the bottom part of the house. Then I'm going to put joint compound all over this, the top part of the house. And then I'm going to take these I think sponges and just texture it. And then we'll see where it goes from there. I'm just throwing stuff in the air. Hopefully it works so I don't have to scratch this idea either. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Okay, it's the next day, and everything that I glued to the back of the wallpaper is dry. So what I did was I cut out the windows and the triangle for the roof. So once I paint it, it fits perfectly and it'll be a real nice pattern. So now I'm going to finish cutting the rest of them out and paint, and then prep my walls. So all the patterns that are going to be painted in burgundy or berry wine will be down here. And then I'm going to do the stucco while the paint is drying for the top part of the walls, and make that pattern with the sponges. Then I'm going to trim it in white, and then we'll see how it looks. Okay, so what I did was I put the joint compound on. It's kind of pink, so it turned white when it's dry. So you had to move fast and do a section at a time. And I got this little sponge, and I'm texturizing it to give it a little look to it instead of it being flat. And then when it dries, I just paint it. So that's what it looks like for the top. Okay, this is the compound that's dry and it's white and it's got texture to it. So it looks real nice. So we're going to see what happened to it. I got it on all sides on the top. I got to touch up the white around the edges. And then we'll see how it looks after that. Which I did paint the bottom of it. That berry wine type color. And we're going to see what it looks like when I put it on there. All right. Oh, I also did the trim. So, right here. Okay, here's an update. The white has been painted. This is what we call a classic caramel color. And the whole top is done of the house. And the back is the caramel color. And so I've already completed the colors on the bottom, and I put Mod Podge on it, which is a sealant. I did the matte color. So tomorrow I'll put that on all over the bottom. Then I'll touch up the white trim, and I did paint the white trim and put Mod Podge on it. So next step, we'll see what it looks like pieced together. Haven't decided what color I'm going to paint the roof. It's according to what it looks like when the bottom goes on. And then I'm not sure what color the chimneys are going to be, but we'll see. It's coming along. Okay, now here's my Thorn-hill. After all the joint compound and the what we call no, I didn't use stucco, but joint compound to make it look like it's textured at the top, where the caramel color is, caramel color. Then the wallpaper that I use that I've had for a couple of years, just colored it what's called a berry wine and trimmed it in white. So I took a little look at it, and I did a lot of the details. It's like almost 3 o'clock in the morning, y'all. I mean, seriously. And this is the outside of her. I'm going to make the chimney, the gray one at the top, right there. I'm going to make that a berry wine color like the bottom, but I'm going to make it, get a stencil and make it bricks. And then I'm going to stain the roof. So this is the back of it. And I'm going to go back around this way to get the other side of the house. So yeah, she's going to be real pretty when I'm done. Okay, and then also I fixed the back of the roof where I had the hole by accident. I was trying to make room and didn't know it was attached to the inside. So I finally got the little bitty teeny tiny piece measured and cut right. And this is what it looks like inside. Let's see if we can get this up. See, I got it taped, so by morning it'll dry. So when I'm done with it, you won't even tell that it was taken out. I think I'm going to leave this roof up tonight so it can air dry quicker. And I put the glue to kind of seal it. So no, I think I'll leave it down because I want the glue to dry flat. But anyway, that's the Thorn-hill. got more work to do, and post it. This is my Thorn-hill with windows and doors, and it looks pretty good. The back is still flat. What I think I'm gonna do is put a doorknob on it so it'll be easier to open. And even this has something decorative. And the other side. Yeah, I think I'm gonna put a handle about right here. Something that can be decorative on a house or something, but you can actually open the door. Because right now, it can open, but see, it opens like that. I don't know, I might just leave it like that. I know the other side, so I have to go straight like to the bottom and pull. So I may just leave it like this corner if I can find something that'll go with the house that won't look like it's a cabinet or nothing. Won't make it look like a cabinet. Because I know the front opens like that. So. But anyway, I'm not done. I still have to do the chimneys and the roof. So when I'm done, I'll be back. The bricks are done. I put one up, and it was looking like bricks, but I had to go in between each one of them that had gaps and put some fake bricks in between, but it doesn't match the color like I want. So I'm going through each one of these with the color of the paint of the bottom, and I'm literally tapping each brick to give it just a little bit of color to make it not look so dry brown. And that's a lot of individual bricks, but it don't take long, just patience. And that's it, you just tap each brick to give it some color. And when I'm done, I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, this is the almost finished product of the Thorn-hill. I got the windows and doors in, I got it painted, I even got the chimneys done. So all I have left to do is go through each crack on the chimneys and fill in the gray. Like you see this, like right here where there's little mistakes. It's not very many, but I want it to look, you know, miniaturist, like it's really realistic. So just wanted everybody to see. So all I gotta do tomorrow is coat the roof and the chimneys, both chimneys, with Mod Podge, which is a sealer. And then she's done. The outside of the Thorn-hill is done, and she is beautiful, and I'm happy with the outcome, especially the chimneys, because I really had doubt. But see this kind of a gap? I think it was because of the way I placed the stencils, but still, I'm good with it. But anyway, Thorn-hill, she's on her way, so I'll be able to start working on the insides and documenting it when time comes. This is the Thorn-hill, completely finished on the outside. I put the Mod Podge on it, and it made the roof a shade darker, which is so pretty, and it goes perfectly with the caramel on the top and the berry wine on the bottom. I'm going to take one walk around. Even the chimneys turned out really good. Look at that color. That is gorgeous. I'm so proud of myself. Okay. This is my Thorn-hill, the journey. And this is the outside. So now I'm going to take a break for about a week or two. Maybe work on some Cricut stuff and maybe the haunted house. So I'll come back and forth. And as I fix up the inside, I'll document one room at a time.